Next off the pole, car number M1, Bobby Schnars of Busti, New York, a 1956 Chevy.
Now the show can begin.
We run down on your feature event, 25 laps. On the pole is car number 98, Bud Finale of Jamestown, New York, a 1957 Chevy. Pole car number 220, Chuck Piazza of Jamestown, New York, a 1956 Chevy. Next on the pole, car number 1, Marv Thorpe of Sugar Grove, PA, a 1956 Ford. Next on the pole, car number 68, Jim Scott of Grand Valley, PA. Off the pole, car number 16, Kenny Johnson of Jamestown, New York, a 1957 Chevy. Next on the pole, car number 30, Dean Layfield of Wellsville, New York, a 1957 Supercharged Ford. Next on the pole, car number 8, Emery Mann of Warren, PA, a 1957 Chevy. Next off the pole, car number 27L, Sammy Lamancuso of Jamestown, New York. Off the pole, car number M1, Bobby Schnars of Busti, New York. 25 laps to go. 25 laps, your starter Jim Ponder looks them over, and they're off. And they're really barreling into the first turn. The checker flag and the win, Bobby Stars. Here he is, the terrific job of driving his second feature event of the season. What do you say, a big hand for Bobby Stars? Nice going, Bobby.
From Busti, New York, the incomparable Bobby Schnars.
Was there anything there, Bobby, that you were surprised to see that, or something new that you'd forgotten about?
As I just said, it looked like I got an awful lot faster after I quit racing than when I was up there. Well, it wasn't a speed shop. It started out as a repair shop that Lyle Brown and Kenny Johnson ran there. I worked for them. I don't remember exactly how it all evolved, but in '57, Kenny built a '57 Ford car that they took to Daytona. Now, I don't remember much about whether I worked on that or what. I know I didn't go down there with them, but after a while they closed the garage up and we just had race cars in there. There was myself, and Lyle Brown had a car that John Seeley drove for him. Paul Wilson had one in there, Chuck Piazza, and myself. That was probably in, 57, 8, 58, I would say.
Next off the pole, car number 16, Kenny Johnson of Jamestown, New York.
Yeah, Kenny was quite a character, but I don't know, Kenny went on to race at Daytona there after he had that '57 Ford. They got a 1960 Ford that I think was built by Holman and Moody down in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was kind of the Ford headquarters. Kenny ran that at Daytona, and Kenny went around, followed the circuit some with a '57 Ford. I know one time we went down to Williams Grove, Pennsylvania, with, I guess that wasn't a NASCAR race, it was USAC, but Kenny was kind of a promoter himself. He'd get in and talk to him, and they actually paid him some to show up, you know, and I think when we went down there, they give you like $75 just to show up at the race. And I remember one thing that stands out too. I think it was like a 100-lap race or something at Langhorne, Pennsylvania, and I was going to be the relief driver. The only driving I did, I took a couple practice laps, and then the car blew up or something before it was relief. But we went around. We ran at Rochester one time. Was a NASCAR race, I think, and didn't do much. Didn't finish. I guess got hot. But I was gonna mention the time we went down to Williams Grove, Pennsylvania. Sticks out in my mind because it was a guy, Paul Goldsmith, won the race. He was big in Indianapolis racing and stuff. And there was another guy, Bill Cheeseborough was his name, that was a driver in Indianapolis. And they was both there. Well, after the race was over, we was in the infield, and there was kind of a judge's stand or something up there, and all the officials was up there figuring out the pay, and we was waiting to get paid off. And this Bill Cheeseborough lit I don't know if it was a cherry bomb, it was a big firecracker, and he threw it right up in there where all the officials was. Well, they got madder than a hornet over that. Wonder who did it. Of course, nobody was saying anything. He says, all right, you guys can wait around here till we're damn good and ready to pay you off. Well, this Paul Goldsmith went up there, and he told them, well, he had to be someplace else. He was flying his airplane, and that Bill Cheeseborough was flying with him, so they paid them two guys off, and they left, and we had to wait half the afternoon to get any money, and Bill was the one that threw the firecracker up there.
Next on the pole, car number 28, Paul Wilson of Jamestown, New York, a 1956 Ford.
Yeah, Willie was a very good race driver too. In later years, he got drinking too much, but he didn't drink, when he was racing or anything back in the days when we was down to the Champion Garage there.
Off the pole, car number 220, Chuck Piazza of Jamestown, New York.
Chuck Piazza, he went on, moved down to Spartansburg, South Carolina. He had a good racing career down there. One time I went to visit him there, trying to think what year that was, probably 68. Charlie was running out to the Concord Speedway. It was I don't know if it'd been an old fairgrounds, but it was a half-mile dirt track. And Ralph Earnhardt was there. Dale Earnhardt was racing too, but he was racing, and he had a 65 Ford Mustang in the 6-cylinder division. I don't remember for sure if he won, but his father won the feature the night I was there. I got to meet him I was out on the track with Chuck, and he introduced me to Ralph Earnhardt.
Off the pole, car number 27L, Sammy Lamancuso of Jamestown, New York.
Well, Sammy Lamancuso accused you on this film of being in cahoots with Chuck Piazza and finding secrets, getting secrets down in the South, bringing it up to state line and taking advantage of this. Is this true?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think one thing I learned down there was the jack bolts they was using on the top of the front coil springs with it had a 1-inch threaded screw down on top of the spring so you could adjust it up and down. And I got that out of a Hoosier tire racing catalog. I got credit for having that thing for an awful long time, more than I did. I only had it in there for a month. I said light aluminum flywheels and stuff. No, that was the only thing about that was like Leonard, the guys, some of them at one time they could use an automatic transmission. They used a aluminum power glide, and when you had that, it didn't have any torque converter in there, so it was absolutely no rotating weight on the back of the engine there. And Leonard, he outlawed them because he didn't think they was safe. But I don't know what else I might have learned down there. tires, I learned one thing, their tires wouldn't work. I bought some of them and brought it up here.
Well, several people talked about you sort of nudging folks up the track. That seemed to be a theme that I picked up. And I never saw it as a spectator, but I'm just curious because several people accused you of sort of either getting close to them, intimidating them, like Ken Shear and others were talking about that. Was that your strategy?
I don't think that's entirely true, but I know one thing I did do when I run the inside, I used to move up a couple inches every lap, so pretty soon they didn't have quite as much room to get a good angle coming off the corner here.
So I think the answer is yes.
Probably learned that. I was going to say another thing. They gave me credit for finding that Atlas Bucron tire, but this gentleman right over here is the one that found the Bucron tires worked.
Well, it worked too, didn't it?
Come to buy tires, Bob. I think you got around pretty good.
Yeah, we bought a lot of them.
The man had a wife that was a little off kilter too. Remember? Is that ring a bell?
Yeah, I think Ronnie Blackmer was kind of sweet on her. Ronnie's going to kill me over that one.
This is the time where you might just let this sit for a while. You've not been previewed. We did not show you this movie tonight ahead of time. So you get done and it's your life in front of you. What's your reaction?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of overcome by it, really. Certainly never had no idea that, actually when we was racing, we never thought we was that great, you know. You never go to the racetrack and think, oh, okay, I got it, I'm going to take all the money home. There's a lot of things that's got to fall in your favor in order to, you know, geez, I don't know. As I say it, seems like I got a lot faster after I quit racing.
27 out. This is 5'11", Squirt Johns. 51, Tom Dale. Tom Dale right here. Kenny C, number 90 most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, number 90. This is Jim Scott, who would have been a hero if it hadn't been for Bob Schnars. Number 3. You saw Mick Johnson, Bob's main crew guy. Also raced against him a little bit.
Number 11.
Yeah, number 11. This here's Skip Furlow, number 40. This is Ronnie Blackburn, number 4. This is Dick Barton, number 14. This is Ronnie Schnars, Bobby's brother. There's the starting lineup, folks. Oh, I'm sorry. And just back from the men's room, number 77, Kenny Shear.
There's the checker flag and the win, Bobby Stars. The season, what do you say, a big hand for Bobby Stars. Nice scoring, Bobby.